Well guys, I'm back for the first time in a couple months, I think. I'm gonna check. Wow. Oh, actually it's just been a month. Doing better than I thought. I started this YouTube channel in the middle of summer, which was probably not the greatest idea because summers are just busy. And my weekends, which are usually when I film these videos, they've all just been so full and so busy, and I just haven't had the time, or really made the time probably for some weekends to film a video. And I don't even really have time this weekend to do it. I'm going on a trip this weekend with some friends, and then next weekend is a wedding, and there's just a lot happening. But I did have a little bit of time that I was just like, Carmen, you have to just do this. Get your camera out and film this video. Because I actually have an idea of what I want to do this time. The other weekends when I could have made the time to make a video, I was like, I don't know what video to make. And so I just didn't. So that's my bad. I know apparently in order to grow a YouTube channel, you have to post videos all the time, but anyway, I'm back. The thing is, I'm making a meal for someone tonight who just had a baby, and I need to get groceries. And like I said, I'm leaving this weekend. And I need to do some things for that too. Wow, I ran my words together. I need to do some things for that as well. So this is for you guys, for the 2 people who ask me when I'm gonna put out my next video. So, alright. So for this week's video, I wanted to do my Fall TBR, what I want to read this fall. I am currently 1 book behind on my reading challenge for the year, and I need to read 15 more books the rest of this year to meet my goal. For the last 3 years, I have not met my goal, partly because my goals have been far too big. And I'm like, you gotta just put it back to something that you can actually do and actually meet. So for this year's goal, it's 50 books. Yeah, 50 books, and I have read, 35 books so far this year. And according to my Goodreads, it says that I'm 1 book behind schedule. So I need to get on it. My Fall TBR will probably run into winter a little bit, which is fine, as long as I meet my goal to read 50 books this year. And I kind of wanted to pick books that just feel fall-ish. I don't really know if the books that I have picked out are particularly fall-ish, but it is what I want to read, and they are the kind of books that you just want to snuggle up with a good cup of coffee in the fall, you know, and read. So I'm gonna get into that. It's finally getting cool here in Colorado, so it actually feels like fall somewhat, and I'm so happy about that. So excited. Fall is by far my favorite season, and here in Colorado, it's just gorgeous. When I lived in Georgia, we had a little bit of fall, but not much. And we don't really have color changing trees and whatever. But here we do, and I am so excited and hope to go on some drives and see some of the gorgeous aspen leaves that are changing colors. Anyway, moving on to my Fall TBR, to be read. What was I saying? I clearly don't do this often enough because I can't keep my thoughts together, it seems. So we'll figure that out. Editing, that's the great thing about editing, right? I can just put clips together, make the video go smoother, better. This one's going to be a fun one to edit because wow. Alright, So first up, I want to do the one that I'm currently reading right now. I want to finish it, The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. It is a 861 page book. So that's fun. That's going to be a challenge. But I picked this book up. It was in my little basket of free books that I had picked up and was like, well, if it's free, I'm going to read it. We'll see if I like it. And yeah, so I will give a review after I'm finished with it. Someone else that I watch here on YouTube doing a TBR, she read it for her, I don't remember what month she was reading it in. And then one of my other friends started reading this book, and one of my other friends purchased this book and were like, we want to read it. And so I'm like, you know what, maybe I should just pick this book up and read it. But I never did until the other day. I had just finished another book and I'm like, well, what do I want to read next? And I saw this one in my little basket of books that were free that I'm going to read. I'm not sure if I want to keep or not. And I'm like, let me just read the opening line and see if I want to read this as for my next book. And I started reading it, and turns out by the time I closed the book, I was 80 pages in. So that's how much that's how much it you know, pulled me in. And I really love the cover. I hope that's clear. The goldfinch there peeled. It's like a painting. The book is about Theo Decker, who lost his mom tragically, and he gets... I'm just gonna read the, you know, synopsis on the back because that does a better job of explaining, apparently. Aged 13, Theo Decker, son of a devoted mother and an absent father, miraculously survives a catastrophe that otherwise tears his life apart. Alone and rudderless in New York, he is taken in by the family of a wealthy friend. Theo is tormented by longing for his mother, and down the years, he clings to the thing that most reminds him of her, a small, captivating painting that ultimately draws him into the criminal underworld. Wow. Sounds very interesting. The reviews are like magnificent, one of the year's must-reads, a triumph, thrilling and touching, a standout, a modern epic, unforgettable, dazzling, superb. You know, so the reviews are great, apparently. And some people say that it has kind of a feel of Charles Dickens' Oliver Twist. I think I have that right. I could be wrong. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know what I think about it. Obviously, it has captivated me that much where I'm like, I'm going to read a couple lines and then I'm 80 pages in. So we will see. I'll let you guys know. And then I don't have the books with me here. They are at the store waiting for me to buy them. They're just sitting on my growing pile there at the store where I work of books that I want to buy. But I have a confession. I have never read the Anne of Green Gables series. I'm almost ashamed to admit it because I love the Anne of Green Gables story. I've watched the movies multiple times, the originals, not any of that lame Netflix Anne with an E series. Gross, don't watch that. Ugh. It ruined the Anne story. But anyway, stay focused, Carmen. I love the Anne of Green Gables story, like I said, and I've always wanted to read the Anne of Green Gables series. I just never owned any of the books myself or had them when I was growing up. I think maybe we did have the first one, and I started reading it when I was really young, and it was just kind of too much for me. I guess I just wasn't reading it at the appropriate age. I don't know, like, it just seemed kind of long and big words. That's just what I remember. I don't know if that's actually the case. So I had started reading it, but I never completed it. So for this fall, there's another lady that I'm watching on YouTube that she's working through the Anne series, and actually two people. There's several people who are working through the Anne series that just kind of inspired me to read them because I've always wanted to, and you know, Anne loves fall. One of the famous quotes from the books is, "I'm so glad I live in a world with Octobers." I think I probably botched that up. I don't know. But, you know, it just seems like the appropriate time of the year to start the Anne of Green Gables series. So that is also on my list. And that's 8 books in a series. So that will definitely take a big chunk out of what I need to read to finish out the year, needing to read 15 more books. So, yes, the Anne of Green Gables series. And then the next one is actually a reread. And partly because I just wanted to tell you guys about this book. The Story People by Heather Kaufman. I read this book, I think about 2 years ago. I don't remember. But I love it so much. I cannot tell you. I cannot tell you how adorable and cute this book is. It's so interesting. I'm telling you. It includes books, it includes a small town, it includes small town matchmakers. You know, the old ladies in church or the small town that are always playing matchmaker. It's just the cutest thing, and I cannot recommend it enough. It's clean, it's humorous, it's witty, it's wow. It's so good. It kind of has, the way it's set up, it has like a little section here at the beginning of each chapter. Like a little bit of a side story. And then the actual chapters in the book. And then it all kind of comes together. So there's a little bit of a mystery involved in the book as well, which I love. And yeah, I just wanted to read it again because it's been a while and I love it so much, and I just think it's time for a reread. I don't know why I have this problem, but you know, when I'm looking for my next read and I have all of these books on my TBR that I need to read that I haven't read yet or that I want to read, and yet the books that I have already read keep pulling me back. Like, hey, read me again. So here we are, rereading a book that I've already read, and I still have so many books that I haven't read yet. But you know, it's fine. It's okay. Not a big deal. So goes the life of a reader. Does anybody else have that problem? Because it's a problem for me. I just want to reread books that I love, and partly because I just can't decide which one to read next on the books that I haven't read yet. So yeah, I need to figure a way to overcome that problem. Anyway, so another thing that most people read in the fall are like mysteries or kind of spooky, scary stories, and I'm just not really into those kinds of books. Partly because I'm not really into reading books with ghosts or, you know, kind of like more of a Halloween feel to them with creepy things in books. I'm just not into that. No. So because I'm not really into those kinds of books, I was like, well, I can still read mystery books because I love mystery. I love mysteries so much. And I love Sherlock Holmes. Although I've only read one of his stories, I think. Yeah, I think I've only read one, The Hound of Baskerville, I think, maybe? Maybe I didn't even read that. Ugh, I can't remember. But for my next read, I want to read some of Sherlock Holmes mysteries. This is a volume 1 of the complete Sherlock Holmes. I don't know that I will actually read both volumes because they are long. 600 plus, 700 plus pages of these books, and I don't know if I will make it through this whole book even, much less 2, but I want to read some of the stories in these just to get through them, start working through them, because I've never fully read them, but I do love Sherlock Holmes and the mysteries and solving crimes and all of that. So that is Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And for the final book in my autumn TBR, I wanted to read a nonfiction just to mix things up and not only read novels and fiction. And I picked up The Everlasting Man by G.K. Chesterton. G.K. Chesterton is an apologist, Christian apologist, if you don't know who he is. I've never read any of his books, but I've heard a lot about him and his writings, and yeah, he's been recommended quite a bit, and I personally love Christian apologists, Christian apologetics, and so I think this one's going to be really interesting. It's a outline of history centered around Jesus Christ, and like he is the central character in history, basically. I love history, so I'm excited to read this. I hope I like it. I'm sure I will, because I love history and Christian apologetics. So yeah, that will be my final book on the TBR list. If you've read G.K. Chesterton and you like him, give me suggestions on some of his other writings or books that you think I would enjoy. So yeah, I will let you guys know what I think about all of these books, at least the ones that I haven't already read, because you all know how I feel about this one. So yeah, that is my list of books that I want to read this fall. So I want to hear what you guys are reading this fall, so let me know in the comments. And yeah, if you're new here, I am Carmen, by the way. I should introduce myself at the beginning of the video. Wow. Anyway, I am Carmen, and this is my booktube channel, and if you are interested in books and reading and want to follow along on what I have, you can hit that subscribe button. Yeah. I hope you found this interesting, and I hope to see you next time. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you guys right now that there probably will not be a video next weekend because, like I said, there's a wedding and we're gonna be busy getting ready for that. So yeah, hopefully in 2 weeks maybe. We can cross our fingers. Maybe I will do a little bit of a reading vlog. I don't really know. I'm still trying to figure out what kind of videos to do every week. So yeah, we'll get on that. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time, whenever that is, so stick around.